You always got to know that there's going to be complaints about salespeople, so what do you do about it? I'm Scott Sylvan Bell. It's July 2nd, 2017, 2:48 in the afternoon. Perfect day to talk about sales, perfect day to talk about closing, and perfect day to talk about buyers complaining about you. So this is video number 2. And in the first video we talked about, hey look, sometimes it's just a personality issue. The buyer really wants to take advantage of a situation. They just want to complain. They just, that's who it is. But there are legitimate complaints about salespeople, and there are legitimate complaints about you and me. I've made mistakes out in the field, so what do you do about it, okay? So let's say that the buyer really does have a legitimate concern. The best way to do any type of process is to sit down and videotape your sales presentation. I will say this, as long as I'm in sales and as long as I'm living, you really want to find out where you are in sales, you have to videotape what you're doing. You have to go through the process and figure out what's going on to videotape your sales presentation and look for clues, okay? So that's one. Always, always, always. I'm a big fan of doing it once a month. The more that you do it, the better, because you can chart your changes. The second thing is you could schedule a ride-along. You could get a manager, you could get a supervisor, a fellow salesperson, and have them watch you. And you got to know that when you get tired and when I get tired, we are at our worst. And you have to know that there's times where people get under your skin, buyers get under your skin, they frustrate you, they get you angry. And if you got a lot of stuff going on in your life, problems with significant others, problem with money, problems with family members, problems with neighbors, right? You got to know that really does affect your sales process. All these outside influences that you have that go on right here in your life and your brain, they really do influence what you do. So you could be taking out frustrations on the buyer for something that they had nothing to do with, right? The buyer asked you a question and you're fed up, and it's the end of the day. It's the beginning of the day. You just got off the phone and talked to a significant other and things weren't going well. And so instead of you having the conversation with your significant other, your friend, your family member, you take it out on the buyer. Okay, so this is why, a long way of saying, you really need salespeople or a manager or supervisor to come ride with you and see how you react. You need to see, they need to see that reaction and then pull you aside and go, hey, look, we need some coaching. I see where the struggle is. It could be vocal pitch, it could be tone, it could be body language, it could be a mix of those three, right? It could be the pace at which you speak with people. One of the things that I see salespeople struggle with a lot is they want to talk really fast. I have this problem. I love talking fast, but the brain needs a couple seconds to catch up. And if all you're doing is just speed talking, right? And so buyers really don't know how to enunciate, hey, I met with a salesperson and here's what the problems were. No, it's just easier to call up and go, hey, your sales guy sucked and I'm really mad because he did this, right? Well, there was something that led up to it. There was something that led up to that problem. And the only way that you're going to know that is by getting in with a ride-along and have somebody come along with you and pay attention to what's going on. And the thing is, as a salesperson, sometimes it's really hard to have the critique. It's really hard to have somebody saying, here's what you did right, here's what you did wrong, here's what you need to change in the future. But you gotta know, it's one of those things, it's course correction. Plane takes off from San Francisco, 90 minutes away from here. Takes off from San Francisco and goes to New York. It's off a good amount of the time. The pilot or the computer is constantly correcting it. But the airplane doesn't get mad. Everybody's not like, hey, you know what, you're being mean to me. It's coaching, and coaching's not always supposed to be comfortable. And sometimes you, sometimes me, we make mistakes and we need that help, okay? So sometimes when buyers complain, it's absolutely legitimate, and you gotta know what you gotta do to fix it. Get coaching, get yourself on video, get a ride-along schedule with somebody. Even if you have to pay for it yourself, it's gonna be more valuable to you. I see salespeople all the time waiting for somebody else to pay for their training. I see salespeople all the time waiting for somebody else to pay for their coaching. And the mistake in that is you got no skin in the game. I remember when I hired my first mentor, oh my goodness, that pile of money that I had to pay out every month or every year was a lot. It was like, man, everybody's like, that's like almost a house payment. I'm like, that's right, but I want that coaching. I want that ability, okay? So sometimes you have to pay for your own coaching. Sometimes you have to pay for your own ride-alongs, and it really does help you out because you can't see, you've got this perspective head on with the buyer, right? The coach or the person sitting on the side, they got the perspective and they can see you right here and they can see the buyer all the way over here, all right? So sometimes it's a matter of perspective. Sometimes you need to hire somebody. Yeah, it costs money, but it's gonna help you out. Now, there you go. If you could do a small favor for me, in the box down below, leave a comment, question, or story. That would be fantastic. To the right, to the left, there is a subscribe button. And you know what you gotta do, you gotta subscribe. And then last of all, you can send it out to all your friends via StumbleUpon, Facebook, Twitter, Google+. Why not even LinkedIn? Scott Sylvan Bell. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Aloha.